here we are. We are officially live. There we go. So hello to everyone who is currently already on and getting ready to call me a nerd. Yeah, we're back once again. It is Tuesday and therefore stream day. Ooh. It's been a week, and yet, you know, I'm always happy to come back to this little world. It's a whole bunch of stuff to do. Let's pull up the to-do list while I'm at it, and maybe even lower the volume just a little bit on my own earphones. Here we go. Yeah, so we have a list of a bunch of things that we can and probably should be doing. I cannot for the life of me remember what I was doing last week. I'll come back to it. Let's take a look around. Okay, so we put this slime here on a stick so that we could hit it. Yes, I remember that. What else did we do? Ooh. I legitimately can't remember. Did we work the clouds? No, that was another time. Anyway, we'll come back. We'll come back to this. Maybe I worked on the slime. I can't remember. Yeah, this time around, I've been having a think about what I can mess around with tonight. There's a few things that might be interesting. So right now we're going into VR, and we have these two little ghost hands, little white hands here. That's kind of showing where our hand is in the virtual world, and they're pretty good. They work. You can open and close them, and you know that's pretty cool. They move around in space. What they don't do, however, is look anything like hands from a character. They're just kind of white hands floating in space. So what I'm thinking is that I would like to mess around with these hands and try to turn them into something that's closer to our reference. So let me pull out our character. Actually, 300 years and maxed out my power level. Okay, cool. So we are supposed to be this character right here. This little anime witch character with a big gold funky hat and some arms, and like robes on the arms, apparently, and like little anime hands. Now, I am a little on the fence if I want to make the whole character. I don't think that's required. I don't think that's maybe not even worthwhile, just because it'll be a lot of work for a character that you'll only see from your own point of view at any given time. But what I'm thinking might be good is to have the arms so that you can see your own arms, and the hat. Maybe most of all the hat, actually. Pretty iconic for this character, I think. It takes up a lot of space. It's essentially the size of her entire body without the legs. Maybe even a little bit more than that. And I think it'd be fun to, like, when you're moving your head around, to have the floppy hat kind of sticking out on top of you. So I guess yeah, we'll try to make this hat today. Yeah, it'll give me something a little bit more brain dead to do as well. What did I work on last time? Oh, I remember what we were doing. Oh, yes. The farm plot with all the subdivisions. Oh, I wish I had remembered faster, because I actually wanted to keep working on that. Okay, so we are going to pop this open. We're just going to go down here and add in a line and say FPS arms plus hat. We're just going to keep that a note of that for now. If we have time at the end of today, we'll come back to that. I don't think we will, but if we have time, we go back to that. All right. I just like spent, 5 minutes talking about how I was going to make this 3D mesh, and I wanted something nice and relaxing and simple to do. And here I am about to go back into like deep code and trying to figure out the math for making all these lines rotate and then setting up plots, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun, I think. Here we go. We're popping this open. Right. So one of these things, it's the box, I believe. Draw plot, draw grid, draw quad. Yeah, draw plot uses rotated right, rotated up. Right, it uses actual rotations for that. So we're going to nerd, be right back. Need to do a few things before being here 100%. Yeah, no problem. I am going to go ahead and start to use these rotation stuff. Orientation, quaternion, and try to add them on to our grids here. All right, let's go do that. Cool. Calculate rotated axis. Well, we're going to reuse that. We can reuse that, I think. Here we go. Draw grid, point A, point B. We have our calculated axis here. We have our cell sizes. We have our points, and we have point A, point B. And point A is transform position plus rotated right times this plus rotated. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out this math over here. So for X, for Y. Right, because we have the lines going that way and the lines going that way. All right. We want to be using this on here. Transform position X. How did I do it here? Just the position plus right. So that's X and Y. Okay. Considering this is a vector 3, can't I just do times the quaternion? Wouldn't that be how I go about doing that? Orientation. Okay, let's try that. I may be having brain fart, but I seem to remember that you can just do times orientation. Clearly not. Okay. All right. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, let's just go back here. So this is the new vector 3. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then times orientation. What does it tell me? Cannot do multiplier with vector 3 and quaternion, but I may be just completely remembering incorrectly. So rotate point around origin. Let me just pop open some basic math. Oh, can't I do that? Wait. Dot. No. Okay. Scale set. Normalize. Okay. Or the other way around. Point A equals. Let's see. Quaternion. Dot. Rotate. Rotate towards, rotates, rotate a rotation from towards to. Euler rotation deprecated from to rotation. Creates a rotation. This brings back what? A quaternion. This brings back a quaternion. Okay, well, that kind of answers my question there. Okay, I have to remember how to rotate vector 3s. Let me just see. Vector 3 dot rotate towards, rotates a vector current towards target. Yeah, you can do that. So current target, max radians delta. All right, all right. All right. Let's see. Rotate. Along the x-axis. Cool. Rotate unity. Rotate vector 3 around point. Around a certain point. Yep. Well, let me put this here so I'm not leaving you with nothing but an empty screen. Rotate a vector around a certain point. If you want to rotate a vector, multiply it by a quaternion. Yeah, that's what I thought. Vector 3 equals quaternion Euler times forward. If you want to rotate a vector, suppose saying that you want to rotate a vector 60 degrees. My vector 3, that times that. Okay. Rotate around point, pivot, angles. Okay, direction is quaternion Euler angles times direction to rotated point. Okay. Yeah, so you do quaternion times... Okay, so maybe I did it backwards. Here we go. So it would be orientation times new vector? Aha. Okay, so point A, point B, point A, point B. Okay. And we might not need this at all. We may come back to that. Okay, I've saved it. And now if I come here, the lines are currently at the same spot. If I rotate them... Ooh. Ooh. It's rotating somewhere. Okay. it's rotating yeah, the wrong place. Okay, maybe the math here is fine, but what I want to do is grid size, plot size, that's the size. This is the divisions and the, okay, local Euler angles. Oh, it's a quaternion. Local angles. Local rotation? Sure, local rotation. Here we go. See if that's any better. And if I rotate it now, it is not better. It is not better. Okay. Direction. The point minus the pivot. Okay. Okay. So what I'm reading over here is I need to make it the point minus the pivot and then do the Euler angles on it. Okay, so it also has to be Euler angles? Is that correct? Quaternion Euler angles times direct. Okay. Orientation. Euler angles. That does not work. Well, Okay. Let's leave that like that then, and let's do this minus the local position times that minus transform dot local position. There we go. There we go. And over here, and we put a here. We'll do the same thing over here. So blah 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 minus and open parentheses and once again here and here. Let's see if that helps. It does not, because it is gone. It's over there now. Oh. Oh. It's at the wrong place, but it's working. Okay. Okay. So local position might not be it. So let's say position. Because local position, of course, is like 0. Now that I think of it, that makes a lot of sense. Here we go. So if we come back here now, do we have something functional? Oh, I got an extra nerd. I just saw your message. No, I did not. Okay. Knitting some socks tonight while watching you. Oh, cool. Enjoy your sock knitting. Okay. So the good news is it is rotating correctly. The bad news is we've somehow moved this over there. Orientation. Minus transform position. Okay. So point A. Okay, point A, and then we'll add the position, I guess. So plus equals transform dot position, and then point B. We'll try and re-adding it after transform dot position. Maybe that's what we're missing here. Maybe this is the big play. There we go. Pop this out over here. We want that moved over here. And let's take a look. Okay, we are back in this location, and if we're rotating, it is rotating correctly. There we go, that was the answer. So we now have a grid that shows up, showing us exactly where the farm plots will be in real space as debugs. And if I click on play right now, it should subdivide my little boxes perfectly. And if I rotate it, it should not be done right. So yeah, we have all of our little box set up. And now if I turn this off and rotate this just a bit and try it again, it should be all messed up. There we go. So it hasn't moved the positions at all, which is what I expected, but not what I wanted. All right. So let us go back here. We don't need this in the end, so let's just take this off. And this is the spawn boxes. So instantiate, blah, 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 transform. Okay. Let's add a vector 3 here, and we'll add this in as a box pause equal vector 3.0 for now. So box pause is going to equal our new vector here. That's X, Y, and Z. Oh god, okay. And then the rotation. Yeah, it's good that we separate this anyway because it's a bit long. Box pause. Here we go. And we're going to put this here as such. So this is putting it just in the world, and we're going to use the same ideas down here. So what we're going to do is, first off, we'll have the orientation. Which is currently being used where? Draw grid. Draw plot. Okay, draw plot. Orientation is taking the transform rotation. Good. So first things first, let's go back up to here. Box pause. Yeah, box pause. We're going to do orientation times that. Is that what we're doing here? So not this one. So orientation times the new vector. Okay. And that poops us out point vector 3. Okay, that's fine. Blah, 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 blah. Minus, and then we're taking what exactly? We are taking transform position. Transform dot position. Here we go. Orientation is not a thing. That is fine. That is because it is this. I should be using this here. Right. And then after this, we'll do box pause plus equal and transform position. Is that what I did? Yeah, transform position. Transform dot position as such. And then that should rotate it, put it at the right place, and so on. And then after that, yeah, we could move this back up now. It's not as long, and then it should place itself. All right. That seems way too simple, so let's find out how wrong I am. First test, while everything is normal, or rather while everything is pointing in the, grid-like direction without any rotation, and we are fine. And now if I take this off and rotate this a little bit and try it again, are they at least placed at the right position? Oh, not only are they placed at the right position, but looking in the right direction. Perfect. Here we go. Farm plot. Yeah, put this back to 0. Here we go. So we now have a visual representation for where our farm plots are going to be in the world. And we could start working on each cell. Cool. So I wasn't actually missing that much last week. Good. So farm plot is here. I'm still not convinced about the name. I might be changing that down the line. But what I'm going to do before I do anything else is just go over here. And considering the large amount of changes I've done and I've forgotten about, I'm going to, save project and make sure that I've actually saved this somewhere other than on my local hard disk. Cool. So let us add slime changes and farm plot addition. Check in the change. Cool. There we go. And now we have ourselves a basis to make the little farm things on. Okay. Now, the question is where to go from here. So, I no longer have my little image, but I can remake it. Let's bring that up so we have a little visual aid here. So the idea was... Oops, grab this. The idea was we had ourselves a nice little farm plot location such as this, and we had it subdivided. Let's just do like that real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, doesn't matter. I don't know, I'm counting. I don't even know. There we go. So we have ourselves a little grid. That's like top view. And each cell is going to be separate from the rest. And it's going to be in 2 different phases. So either it's going to be a... Oop, that's not what I want to do. Either that it's going to be like flat dirt that's sticking out just a little bit. Or it's going to be set up to be in rows. So... You're gonna have something like this, I guess. And so yeah, once you till the field, it's going to make these little rows like that. Maybe not that exact manner, maybe just like one lump and then one down. I maybe it's best that I don't think about it too hard here. So yeah, it's either going to be flat ground or it's going to be tilled ground at first. And we're going to fill it up with that, and then we'll be able to give them different states. However, that's like down the line. So for now, let's make this simpler and just have a setup for like tilled states, watered states, seeded states, etc. And we can substitute actual mesh, so I don't have to go into Blender right away, for just colors. So we'll have little boxes with colors on them. Okay. I'm using the cube, right? I'm literally using this cube. I remember that now. Let's call this farm template. And of course, down the line, we'll be able to set this up so that our farm plots, you know, we have different states, so different visuals for those states as well. Z, I think, is height in this software. No, it's Y. Okay, let's put it at 0.1. 0.05. Doesn't need to be very big. So let's just take a look quickly in edit mode. And as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that I had actually... Oh, hello. Hello there. Okay, so I guess I've hard set the size of these. Alright, we'll get back to that. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm realizing that I actually cut off some of this stream last year at the end of the year because my VR headset was having some issues with the controllers. And since I've come back, I've done a lot of things that are just in editor that don't actually require controllers. But we'll come back to that. When we're going to be like changing states of these tiles with a hoe, we'll actually go into VR. Okay, so let's go into here then. Spawn boxes. Box position. Yeah, I do use that. It's right there. Okay, I don't know why it's telling me I don't. Scale. Y scale. That's the position. Prefab. Instantiate position rotation parent. Ah, local scale. Here it is. And I'm setting it to 1, in which, you know, I don't need to. Let me just go ahead and take the prefab here. transform dot local scale dot y. There we go. And now if I go back here, I should be able to keep this scale down, but I'm sure we're going to be messing around with it down the line no matter what. So that's good. That's good. Do we have little flat cells to work with here? We do, and we also see that it's a bit high actually. Okay, well, does that matter? I'm not sure it does. Oh, okay. Let's do them like right here. Perfect. And now if I play once more, we should have these tiles nice and close to the ground. Also, hello to the new person who just joined. Okay, so we got our little farm plot cells all set up. Wonderful. They are actually rotating correctly with the grid that we gave ourselves. We can increase the number of grids and decrease it, but I think 5 and 6 is pretty good right now. So let us work on a cell. I think that's the next step, to work on one of these little cells for the farm plots. Right now we're using farm template as our template, and it's not even a template, so we're going to make it a prefab. At the very least, creatures, inventory, stuff, items. We're going to make a new one. We're going to call it environment. That doesn't seem right, but it's fine for now. Farm template. There we go. And I guess I can now just not deal with that at all. Cool. So let's do that. Go into our prefab as such. We can set this to 0, 0, 0. Here we go. F. Here we go. Let's go back for just a moment because this will be broken. We are going to set up our farm template. We're also going to rename it. I'm not going to have it as farm template. This will be cell template. File rename. Cell, farm cell, as such. Rename file. Yeah, that's fine. And we are going to go ahead and start making a script for it. So, bring our image back up. At the base, we're going to have a state where it's untilled. We're going to have a state where it's tilled. And we're going to have a state where it's where it's watered. I think that's how we're going to do this for now. So let's just go back here for a moment and start ourselves up a new script. Crops, crop farm plot. That's the one we just created, correct? And that's crop. I believe this is an old one. So let's not use that for now and call this one farm cell. And we'll be soon instantiating characters from Dragon Ball. Is the only thing I ever think of when I see the word cell now. Okay. So, farm cells, start, update, cool. We are going to create an enum for this. Public enum farm cell state. Right, here we go. And we're going to start off with untilled, tilled, and tilled wet. It could be untilled wet as well, now that I think of it. let's have untilled wet as well. You can you know, add water to the ground even if it isn't tilled. Why not? Why restrict the future maybe players of this? Cool. And we're also going to add in here farm cell. It's just private, I guess. Private. We don't need to access it outside of this. No, we don't, because we're going to be using, you know, methods for that and such. Private farm cell state. And we're just going to call this cell state. Maybe give it an initial state. It will be untilled. Cool. So, right now, I don't want any of this. I will want something so that when the cell state changes state, it will update the visuals. So let's have private state set state. No, I need a type. I'm sorry. Void set state. Underscore. No, I just want a farm cell state new state. There we go. Da, 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 da. Okay, and we're just going to at first do underscore cell state equals state new state, sorry, equals new state. And then we'll also be able to add like visual changes in here down the line. So I guess we want something to be able to debug this. Yeah, some actual visuals. So let's just take a look at our game object here for a moment. Here we go. We're going to add farm cell onto this because it is indeed a farm cell. An existing checkout operation has locked the work states 300 years. Please wait for checkout operation to finish. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Let's just do a little save project. Leave this. Go back into it and see if the changes have stuck, because it looks like it's fine. Yeah? Alright. Let's not question it too much for now, as it seems to be working just fine, regardless of what it just told me. Okay, maybe I misread. Right. So we're also going to add in a new method over here, private void set visuals. Just like that. And we're going to go ahead and add some placeholder visuals. So set visuals, it could just stay like this. This is an entire placeholder method anyway. So set state, I'm not sure I want to, let's make this public. That's bothering me. Let's make that public, and worst off, we can bring it back later. Cool. So set visuals is going to be in here. Without the L, thank you very much. And we're just going to take random colors depending on the state and hard code those in for now. So we want get component the mesh renderer, I believe, is how you get access to the material. Yeah, lit. Perfect. Mesh filter skin to mesh renderer. Mesh render. Here we go. So we're going to grab the mesh render, do material and color equals and it depends on which one of these states. So we need a switch case. Cell state case that state untilled break. Okay. So untilled is going to be white, I guess, the most basic color. Is it white or is it gray? I guess it's gray at the start. All right, let's go back here. Let's make it gray then. Gray. And then of course we have the other cases. So case this. Then we have untilled and wet. Yes, and then we're going to do another break and just do them all like that. So case, I don't know why I made a period there. We have tilled, break, and finally case, tilled wet, break, and then for good form, default, break. And we're just going to leave ourselves a little message here. Debug.log error. You have reached a case that is unused. Here we go. And we're going to choose some nice colors for this. So if it is untilled and wet, it is going to be black. If it is tilled, it is going to be... Do I have brown? Orange? No, it's like red, blue. Yeah. Let's make it green. Sure. Green. And then for the last one, it could be cyan. There we go, that's fine. All right, so depending on the state of the tile, it'll take one of these colors when you set the state of a tile. Fantastic. And we are going to just on start, I guess, for now. Maybe I should have a public void init function. Nope. Just like that. It's the downside of using init as a method name is that it likes to self-fill. Okay, so init, and in there we're going to do set state set state to farm cell state untilled. Just at the base, just like that. And we're going to use the init. So down the line, when we get there and we want to set it up so that it's remembering, you know, past states, we can use that. But for now, we're just forcing it to be untilled. Cool. And nothing, we didn't have to plug in anything for that. So let's go here, give this a little save, and see if everything turns gray. I'm now realizing if it is gray, we might not actually see a difference. Oh yeah, this is so much so much more gray. Oh yeah, that's a really good color choice there, David. God damn. Cool. Let's not make it gray. Let's make it white. Let's go back with what I was gonna do initially, because at the base it is gray and you can't see them. You can't see the color. Okay, so these should all be white now. They are not, actually. That is an issue. Lit instance? Yeah, this is gray. Okay, well, it's good. Good that we tested. So sets on start init set state to this. We do this. You know what? Let's go all the way. I'm pretty sure this isn't required in any way, but let's just have a new state here. Put it here as well. New state equals here. And we're going to add in new state here. And I'm going to, you know what? Actually, just to be absolutely sure, let's make this blue. Let's just make this blue. And if it doesn't turn blue, we'll know instantly if it isn't working. Click on the little play button. There we go, it's blue. Okay, it is working. Fantastic. So, the question is white gray in Unity? I don't think so. I think it's supposed to actually be white. Cool. Blah, 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 blah. Let's make this white. Just, I need to see it work. I need to see it work. And then after that, we can go back to actually trying to alter the state of the soil based off of something or another. Yeah, there we go, it's white. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what I had done, but it works now. Ooh, actually, you know what? I just saw in my hierarchy something that's going to bother me quite quickly. So we have farm cell clone, farm cell clone, farm cell clone, farm cell clone. I'm going to go ahead and just rename these. Farm cell instantiate the prefab, blah blah blah. This is going to be a game object, so we're able to get to the transform. And I'm also going to do farm cell dot get component farm cell, and I should have access to init. There we go. As such. So I can actually set up the init from here, which is quite nice. But I wanted to do that because I wanted to set its name. Okay. So in our init, we're also going to add an int index. Yeah, just like that for now. And we are going to alter the name of it in here. So set state, let's first do a name change. So game object dot name equals, and I'm going to want to remove clone and replace it with the index number. And I can never remember the command for that. So let me just look into it real quick. Replace. String replace. Yeah. Replace string. Text dot replace. Hello world. Okay. Is it just replace? Maybe I'm dumb. That's definitely a possibility. Okay. So we're going to do its name dot replace. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to have a clone to be replaced with let's do a little bit too much stuff. Index. There we go. That should work. And we're not going to need this anymore on start because we're pooping it out from farm plot. All right, and here this should give me an error, which is absolutely fine. We are going to usually I'd be putting it into a list for later or an array for later. I don't have that currently. So can I just tell it to use its own child? I think so. Let me try that. Farm cell dot, this is a game object, transform dot child count. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that should work. Cool. So if I go here now and click on play, is it going to set up with the right numbers? And if so, we'll be able to change it down the line when we have an array to be able to store this information for like future saves and so on, but I'm not doing that right now. Cool, so that didn't work. Because I think it's taking... Okay, no, I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Not this. No. This transform. The transform of the thing holding the children. Yeah, that'll work better. Let's try that again. Here we go. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 30. Nice. And it doesn't make an immense amount of sense how they're being placed. Okay, they're being placed like that. I see. I see. They're being placed in this manner. Cool. Right, so we renamed it. We gave each farm cell a state. They individually have their own state on the farm cell. We don't need it. We don't need the farm plot to know the states of the children. Just ask the children if needed. And we are going to now do something to change the states of these. When we're using the hoe, we're going to want to check if the hoe is coming in contact with it. However, just to test the states just right now, I think what I'm going to want to do is some sort of way of doing it through debug. So maybe a click just to change it. So if I like select it, it'll change state. Okay. Okay, is there a quick way to do this now? Let me check. UI selectable, no. On select game object. Selection.game object. What is this? Selection.game object. Game objects. Okay. This is like an editor thing, isn't it? Classes selection. Let's move this over here. Yeah, Unity editor. I guess I could just do that. Selection dot game objects plural returns the actual game object selection, includes prefabs non-modifiable objects. Okay. Okay. Let's do a little test just to see it change state and therefore change color. Down the line, there's 4 different states, and there's something I'm going to have to do based off of it. Let me think, because I want to be able to select it. Let me get some visuals up here. I want to be able to select it and then maybe click on my number pad 1 to 4 to change the state between it, just for debugging purposes, just to make sure that it is working and we have access to it directly in the editor at any given moment. So I want to detect what is selected. And when it is selected, I want it to detect input. Okay, let's break that up into 2 parts. Let's just on the farm cell, for now, update, right? And this, once again, is just something I want to have in editor. So if Unity editor and if, I'm fairly certain updates should work in editor. If Unity editor, we're also going to do this for up here. If you're in editor, use the editor, and if you're not in editor, don't use it. So using Unity editor, right? So this will just be ignored the day that I make this like a build project. Okay, so if you're an editor, you can use editor, and if you're an editor, we're going to check input. So selection dot game objects returns the actual game object selection, includes prefabs, blah 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 blah. Okay, so this returns an array. Oh, it returns an array, doesn't it? To list. Oh, I can't do to list. This is gonna be stupidly heavy. I'm sure there's a better way. I was going to like turn it into a list and then see if the current selected, well, the current cell is one of the things in the list, and then after that go in. There must be a less stupid way of doing this. So let's just look this up. Maybe there isn't. Light affecting only prevents more than one selected object can light image, blah blah blah. No, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it, and let's not question it. So let's. Oh, you know what? Instead of making a list every update tick, I'm going to just have, once again, in my if Unity editor, I'm going to have a private list of game objects. Here we go. And editor list. Let's go with a smart naming convention that won't in any way confuse me down the line. So editor list equals selection dot active object. Oh, I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Object select an active object cannot implicitly turn. Oh, active object. Object selection. What is active object? Returns the actual object selection, including prefabs, non-modifiable objects. So what's object? The actual unfiltered selection from the screen. This is just one. Do I want to test on more than one at a time? Is the question. Active game object. This outright gives me the game object. Returns the active game object, the one shown in the inspector. Okay. Maybe that's all I want. Maybe this is the answer to my to my won't this be stupidly heavy. So I don't need that at all. And what I'm going to do is get the component. Let's just do if selection active game object equals this. Oops. Equals the game object of this, rather. Game object. We are going to go ahead and make it do something, really. So active game object equals game object. So if it is this, we are going to check for input. So input dot any key, no, get axis, get button, mouse position. Get key up. We just wanted to do it once, so this is the simplest way of getting it to do that only once. And the key code here will be a key code dot alpha 1 F1 joystick. Oh, is there like num lock? I just want it to be the number 1, the 1 key on top of the alphanumeric keyboard. Okay, that's up here. Okay, that's actually what we want. Potentially, is there one for the number pad? And no, numlock, no. Pad page, no. Okay, let's just go with alpha 1 then. Alpha 1 it is. So alpha 1, if alpha 1, we are going to set oh right, if if this, then that. There we go. I've coded before. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have. Set state to farm cell state. 1 will be untilled, so the basic state. If let's actually just copy this a few times because we're not going to be changing that much on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. And 4. And untilled will be untilled wet. This one will be tilled, and this one will be tilled wet. Perfect. And we're going to give little spaces because that is not easily readable. All right, so this should only happen in editor. And I should now, if I come back here and press on play, I should be able to select each one of these individually and then change their, change their color based off of the key that I have clicked on. And if that works, then we know that at least the states are changing. So I've selected this guy. We have gotten a lot of errors. You're trying to use read input using Unity Engine input class, but you have switched to active input handling to input system package and damn it. I just wanted it for debugging reasons. Okay, so it might be working, but we can't actually use the input system. Okay. Let's do something. Let's do something even simpler. So just for the testing purposes and so that I don't have to go through the system of inputs again. If I select it, it should just turn to wet and it should turn black if I'm not mistaken. So let's click on play and see if we select one of these, if they turn black. They shouldn't be turning back to white when we unselect it, mind you. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. We are changing the state of these just by a click. Okay, good. Now, what we're going to want to do next is have it so that when we smack it with our hoe, it changes color. And we're just going to start with that. I'm not going to do anything too fancy. We'll leave this here for now. It should only be a thing if I click on them anyway. So that's not the end of the world. Actually, this is going to be a problem down the line. It's fine. We'll get back to that. No, I changed my mind. It's going to be a problem right now. because if I'm trying to change the state of it by hitting it with a hoe and I haven't had it selected, I think it just won't do anything. How did I write that? If it is being selected, then change. Okay, so there's nothing turning it back, so I can leave that there. I'm wrong. I can leave that there. That's fine. Okay, so, right. Next thing that we're going to want is we want this hoe here. I think I clicked on the Atame. This hoe here, so that when the metal end, which I'm sure has its own name, shovel? No, whatever. When the metal end hits the ground, comes in contact with the ground rather, it's going to change the state from untilled to tilled. Now, let's just take a look. What do we have here? Hover. Yes, select. Okay. Grabbable item. Grabbable item, capsule collider. Select, exit selection. Okay. What else do I have? I have an attach point, I have a world space, I have an inventory space, and I have WS visuals. Okay. Where is my collision box? It's right here. Okay. So what do we think here? Should we have it so that the hoe is checking if it's coming in collision with a cell, or should the cell be checking if it is coming in collision with the hoe? Logically, in my head, it feels like the hoe should be checking if it's hitting the cell. However, I expect that more things will come in collisions with the hoe than with the ground. Let me have a think about this. So what could come in collision with the hoe? Well, if it falls on the ground and it hits the ground, it's going to come in collision at least once. If it's in my hand and I'm waving it around, it could come in collision with a few different things, whatever I happen to be smacking the hoe into. However, when it is in my inventory, it's non-collision with anything at all, or it shouldn't be. It should be like disactivated, that entire section. On the other hand, the cell spot, the farm cell, is going to be coming in collision only when something comes to it, and at least once when it loads and comes in collision with the other cells around it and with the ground. I think actually the cell should be checking if it's coming in collision with the hoe. Okay. That means, however, that I need a way for it to determine that I am indeed coming collision with the hoe. I could be checking the name, of course, but that's kind of a dumb way of going about it because I might be changing the name down the way and I don't want my entire farming system to be based off of the name of the hoe. That seems a bit weird. I could make a tag. Door, egg, chicken in hand. Okay. I'm not even sure what these tags are for, but they're there. We also have layers. I can make a layer, and I could be checking that. I could be checking the layer. What else? A grabbable object, a box collider. So the hoe doesn't have anything to distinguish that it's a hoe, but the farm plot does from the base. So maybe it is a better idea to have the hoe check if it's hitting the ground and not the other way around. Okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. Which still means that I need to make a script on the hoe to check if it is coming in collision with the ground. However, what I do not need to do, let's put the script in world space. That way, when it gets toggled off, it's not running at all. But at least on the hoe, like it at least if I make a script for the hoe, it'll have a reason to be there other than just being like a script that's acting like a tag. So let's do it this way. Prefabs, no, we want to go into scripts, accessories, AI crops, environment, inventory, items. Hit checker, yeah, swing checker. Farm cell checker? Might as well, right? Farm cell checker. I'm doing it really specific for each, and I'm thinking maybe it'd be a good idea to not do that, but I'm way too lazy. I could have made it so like I can have a checker script, and then based off of what I'm checking for. No, I'm not doing that. Cool. Farm cell checker right here. Let's call it this way. And we are going to... oh, I have a kitten outside my door who is asking to be fed. And it is true. It is 10 minutes past her feeding moment. So let's just take a moment. I'll take a 10-second break as I go and feed the cat, and I'll be right back. And Kitty has been feeded. Okay, so we were making a farm cell checker. First thing we're going to need is a I was going to say the first thing we're going to need is something to be able to, determine which collider is hitting stuff. But then I can't do on collision enter. All right, let me see. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's not do the on collision enter. And I can use physics to determine things. Cool. So first thing I want to do is create a serialized. Did I click on insert? I think I did. Serialized field. Not that one, this one. and a private variable that is going to be a collider. And we are going to call this Hobox? I can't think of a good name for this one. Ho Collider? Ground Checker? Cell Check Collider. There we go. That's a ridiculously long name for what I'm using it for. Okay, and we are going to... The thing is, let me see. So on collision enter, right? So the annoying thing that I'm trying to get through right now in my head, I know I'm not explaining why I'm hesitating so much, is what I would like to be able to do is access this on collision enter. Because, and I may be wrong, let's check it up together actually. I was gonna say I may be wrong, but on collision enter is kind of an event, so it's only goes off every time there is a new collision. I might be wrong about that, how it works under the hood, but let me see. On collision enter, on collision called, when collider rigid body has begun touching another rigid body. Right, so it's only in contrast to on trigger enter, on collision enter, blah blah blah. Okay, I thought that was going to give me more details here. Essentially, on collision enter, this is an example. On collision enter, this is an example. Okay, this only goes off once, right? So the check only goes off if something new is being collided with. However, if I was to go into update and do, I think it's physics, collision, ignore collision, ignore collision, ignore collision, dot, maybe it's collider, my bad. Let's see. Cell check collider dot. Okay, good. I can't remember how to do this anymore. It was physics, pretty sure. So physics dot all layers. No. Dot all layers. What is this? Layer mask. No, that's not what I want. Box cast. Oh, I remember how this works. Okay, bool is casts the box along array and returns detailed information on what was hit. Okay, yeah, check box. Check whether the given box overlaps with other colliders or not. Default equals gravity, ignore collisions. Overlap box, yeah. Finds all colliders touching or inside the given box. Okay. Raycast, blah blah blah. Sphere cast, okay. Yeah, alright. This reminds me a little bit how it works. So if I use physics and put it in updates, it's going to constantly be checking it's going to constantly be checking if this collider is colliding with anything. So on every frame, apparently, which, you know, I don't know why I had it in my head that it was on tick and not on frame, but that's a whole other thing. So on every frame, it's going to check if my box collider is colliding with something else. It's going to poop it out, and then I could make a check. All right, is that a cell? And if so, do something. The problem is that I have absolutely no way of knowing if I have just entered a collision where previously I was not, which is number one. I'd have to set that up. And two, yeah, it is checking on every frame instead of only when a new collision is detected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, and we are going to use simply on collision enter. And I'm going to have to set up my farm cell checker a little bit differently so that it is indeed using the collider only of the front part of the hose, so I can like bump it with the back part and it won't do anything. All right, I almost lost my own train of thought there, but I got there in the end. So what we want to do now is check if the thing we are colliding with, if collision dot get component, dot transform get component, if it has the farm cell component on it, and if it does, then we do some other things. Okay, so we're going to move this up, var cell equals that. Right, so our variable cell is doing that, and if cell is correct, so if it is not null, I'm fairly certain that means if it is not null. I always doubt myself on that one, but I'm fairly certain. We're going to find out together, right? Yeah, definitely. So if it is not null, then that means we are hitting a farm cell, and that means we are able to tell it to change state, set state. So let's do that. Cell dot set state, open parentheses, that, and we're going to make it tilde. Just like that for now. So if our hose blade hits the ground, it's going to tilt it. Now, what we're going to have to change is this. World space. What is in world space? It's just the visuals, right? Mesh renderer hoe. Realistically, these should be on there. I think the reason why they're not on there is because of our rigid body. This is the downside to working 2 hours a week. Every week for over a year. I must be pretty close to a year now. I must not be over. Is that I can't remember why I did certain things in the way I did them. So box collider, we are going to move off of this onto something else. Let's put it in there. Copy component, let's just remove this for now. We're going to come onto world space, and we're going to paste the component as new. It has placed itself correctly, and we are going to put the farm cell checker on this, so that is using the box collider here. I hope that's how it works. I hope it isn't going to bump in. It's not going to also consider the parent, but we'll find that out in a few moments, because now that my hoe world space has farm cell checker on it with the box collider that is on the blade, the head of the hoe, I'm not sure how you call that. Once this comes in contact with the ground, it's going to check. It's going to check if there is a cell component on it, farm cell, and if so, it's going to change the state to it. Whew. All right. A lot of thinking for not a lot of code, but here we are. That should work. So we are going to go into VR without any more messing around. Pick up this hoe, go over to our farm plots, and try to hit the ground. And if it changes color, it means somehow I've done that right that first time. But considering it is now 8:30, and I almost lost my own train of thought as I was doing that, there's a good chance that that's not actually what's going to happen, and it's not going to work the first time, and then we're going to have some fun debugging. So let's put the headset on. Let's turn on the hand controllers. There we go. Put the earphones back on. The music is still playing, it seems. And I'm just going to press that and make sure that you guys see what I'm seeing. Okay, it is running. We are not getting spammed with errors. Good, good, good. We are going to go... I'm just going to do this manually. Maximize. Oh, that's off to a start. All right. My headset did not turn... Oh, I know why. Okay. One moment, please. Let me just fix this. I know exactly what's going on. Here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Here. You guys just stare at this for a moment as I unplug my headset from my work PC and put it back onto my home PC. Okay. That looks like the headset. And so does that. Okay. That goes over here, and that goes over there. Try not to hit the head on the way back up. Okay. Put the headset back on. Put the earphones back on. Put the controllers back in hand. And hopefully everything just works, TM. Oh, I don't like that. The headset is not turning on. Wonderful. All right. Let's find another USB port. Ah. The sound of hope. Let's click on that and see if my screen goes crazy on my end. And while we're waiting... Oh, there is music. Oh, I must have turned my own sound down. Okay, it is now working once more. So let's go maximize. I'm staring at the sky and my headset is now on. My hands are there. I had forgotten that I had done that. All right, and we are going to remember, okay, how it works on these new controllers. So go here, pick up the hoe, and go over here, and if we hit the ground, nothing happens. Okay. Yeah, that definitely should have done something. All right, so our hoe is now on the ground as such. I'm going to pause, check the console for errors. There are no errors. So we are going to turn this off and do a little debugging, see what happened here. This is on farm cell checker, on collision enter. It is on collision enter, so let's make sure that this is not trigger. It is not, it is a collider, okay. And let's leave ourselves a little message. just a little error message. We're going to have one here. And we're going to have one here. Okay. And I'm going to grow the size of this window here so you guys see what I see in VR and in editor at the same time. So let's start this up. And at first, I think we're going to get a whole bunch of errors saying out. Nope. Okay, okay. All right. Let's go over to this. Pick up the hoe. Go over to here. And if we smack the ground, as such, nothing is coming up. Aha! What if I drop it? Nothing. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening here. So the collider is colliding with something. Hoe. World space. It's here. It is turned on. Fascinating. So it has collided with this. I just clicked on it so it turned black, but that's fine. It does have a farm cell on it. It has a box collider on it. And we're not getting anything. On collision enter. Does it require a rigid body for on collision enter to work? That sounds like something that is a thing. Okay, let's move this back to hoe. Nope. Copy component. We're gonna remove these again. Okay, let's do that. Let's add paste as new, so we have that once more, and then we're gonna need the farm cell checker. Put it right up here. So it's like right over this. Okay, and let's try it once more. The sound? What sound? I'm sorry, I just saw your message. Is there a horrible sound? Well, let me know while I'm doing this. So, go over here, grab this, go over here. I hit something in the real world. Okay, let's get closer and let's just drop it maybe? Oh no. Okay, the good news is that worked. The bad news is that it only worked once I let go of the hoe. Earlier, not now. There will be right back sound. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I Googled it real quick. So, I think the reason, let's just pause this. Okay. Got hairs in my eyes. Okay, so if I go and I click on the hoe, I think this gets put to kinematic when it's in your hand. And that must kill that. Okay. Let's unpause this real quick. And let's see if kinematic changes, and I think that might be what it is. So let's go back up. And if I let go of it, there we go. It is no longer kinematic. So I think on collision enter only works when it's not kinematic, which is a problem for us. Yeah, in, out. Thank you. On collision, enter. Let me double check this. Notes, collision events are only sent if one of the collider also has a non-kinematic rigid body attached. Collision events will be sent to disabled mono behaviors to allow enabling behaviors in response. Okay, I've already thought of a way around that, but what I want to know now is, do on trigger enters also need non-kinematic? Because I can, you know, kill two birds with one stone here. Find a type, get on trigger enter. Both game objects must contain a collider component. One must have collider is trigger enabled and contain a rigid body. If both and contain a rigid body, it doesn't say non-kinematic. If both game objects have a collider is trigger enabled, no collision happens. The same applies with both game objects do not have rigid bodies components. So it has to have a rigid body, it doesn't have to have it non-kinematic. Okay. Okay. So, if I, this is a bit weird, but if I was to copy the component, paste it as a new, and just make the second one an is trigger. Let's just test this. That's probably not the best way, but it might work, so we can go with it. So on collision enter, this will be on trigger enter. Uh-oh. On trigger, come on. On trigger enter. I just want this. I just want that name. Collider other. Oh, I see. It didn't like me calling it other. Alter. Alter. On trigger enter. You know what? I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, I did it wrong. I wrote it wrong. Cool. On trigger enter, and this is gonna be other. So copy collision. Here we go. And yeah, that, from what I've read, should work because it shouldn't care if it's kinematic or not. It's weird, I'm not gonna lie. It's certainly very strange to have this doubled just so that we have like a collision to check, but it should work. All right, let's see. Otherwise, we can definitely do it another way. I already have another idea of how I could mess with it. Here we go. Grab this. Here we go. And now if we smack it on the ground. Yeah! Smack it on the ground. There we go. And we're holding it too. Smack it on the ground. Smack the table. All right. There we go. That is absolutely perfect. So we now have a hoe that is working. It is changing the state, which is what we wanted. The downside is that it does it all in once, and it's kind of lame. So it is 8:40. There isn't actually that much time, but we do have a farm plot that we're able to define how many area that we want in there, the size and all that. It is making farm cells. We are able to change the state of the farm cells. The question I have now is, how do we want to change it, the state of the cells? Do we want it to be... Oh, okay, I'm just going to go out and say I don't want it to be so that if you just smack it once, that's it. That just seems kind of boring to me. What I would like is that it changes little by little over time, so that you either have to smack it multiple times, or maybe you have to like, I won't be able to properly rake it just because of time constraints, and like these 2-hour periods don't really let me do anything too complicated. But it could either be smacking, or I could be actually raking it horizontally. I think that is a thing I could do. But I think what I'm going to do is go with the smacking. So you smack it like, I don't know, 10 times, and then it slowly turns to the state. Yeah. Let's do that for now. So let's go back to our farm cell, not the checker. Thank you very much. We are going to add a new private variable. This will be a float. Yeah, and it is going to be till percent equals 0.0f. There we go. So it starts out untilled, and then it can get more and more tilled overground by smacking it repeatedly with a hoe. Let's just hard code the 10 times for now, and we'll go that way. So instead of doing set state, we are going to want to till it. So let us make a new method right here. Public void till, and if cell state does not equal tilled or wet, or cell state does not equal that tilled wet, yeah, then we're going to steadily increase the till percentage. Let's do it by multiples of 5 for now. So till percentage plus equals, I said 5, didn't I? 0.2 f, right? And then if underscore till percentage is greater than or equal to 1.0 f, then we're going to change the state. So set state tilled. As such, we don't have wet right now, so we're just going to do it this way. And I kind of want it to be visual. Let's just test it for now. So when you hit it, instead of changing the state, you do cell.till as such. And we don't need this any longer because we know it's working. All right. So let me just take some of this hair out of my VR headspace. There we go. That should help. And we are going to this time do it in full focused mode. No, maximized mode even. Yeah. And I want full immersion in my tilling of the ground. All right, let's back ourselves up. There we go. I'm moving over here. Maybe I'm opening this. Maybe I want my Atama in there, just in case, you know, little slimes decide to attack me. And then I pick this up, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna walk around that slime. Yeah, it's very dangerous. And then I come here, and I'm like, all right, see this ground right here? It needs to be tilled. So I hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then it is tilled. We have succeeded. Game of the year. We have tilled a tile in 5 hits with absolutely no visual feedback to tell us that we're doing the work. Ah, yes. Yes, that was worth the 4 hours of work I put into this. Ah, wonderful. Wonderful. But it is working, all jokes aside. I think just for tonight, maybe next week we can like give it proper visuals, but I think just for tonight we're going to go ahead in here and we are going to change the color. Let's give us, it'll slowly turn red, I'm thinking. Okay, so here we're gonna go and over here percentage right, we're gonna do that, and the color is going to be a lerp. Can I do that? Color dot lerp? Yeah, I can. Okay, so it's gonna be between white, which was the original color, and red. And then finally the float is going to be till percentage, like that. So it's going to turn a little bit more red until it is finally tilled. So let's do, you know what, let's do one more change. Till percentage, we're going to not hard code that one line. We're going to go and make ourselves a serialized field, private, and can I actually do an int percent? Till per hit, sure, equals 0.2, no, 2, 20. I'm putting it as an int, or maybe a float is what I need. Okay, let's make a float, and let's see, I should be able to make a little range is what I'm trying to do here, so I can easily change it down the line. Range, and the range is between 2 floats. Perfect. So between 0.0f and 1.0f. Just like that. Just like that. 0 and 1 till percentage is like that. And now if I go to farm cell, oh, I won't have access to that because of how I put this up. Because the farm plot, yeah. Okay. So this won't be here. This won't be here. This will be just a thing like this. What's till percentage? Oh, that should be a different name. Tilled percentage. There we go. And till per hit. Let's make it 0, just at the base. And in our init, we're going to also add float till per hit equals 0.2f, just so I have a baseline. And we're going to make it set state name till per hit equals till per hit. As such, we no longer need D0 actually. It might be better if we don't add that in. Just make sure it is global, like that. And we are going to use this right here. Right, and then the farm plot is going to have a lot of weight on my brow apparently. Here we go. And this is a float. The range is between 0.01 f and 1.0 f. This is going to be hits required. Oh god. No. Till percent per hit. A stupidly long name, but that is fine. And it's going to be 0.2 f at the base. And in our init, spawn boxes, blah blah blah, init here, we are going to add that in so that in our farm plot area we will be able to change that down the line. And just to check if it is working, let's put it up to 0.33333333. Oh no, not 6. 3333333. Wonderful. And now it should take only 3 hits, maybe 4. I don't know how this is gonna round up or down. I expecting down, but let's find out. So back into the VR. I have clicked on stuff. There we go. I pick this back up. I go back over here, and if I hit it once, it is turning redder twice. Redder again 3 times. It is done. Well, there we go. So I can like go around and be like do 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 do. Till. I'm like jittering my hands, so sometimes it's hitting it more than once, but that's fine. Which is probably why we would want it to kind of have to drag or something. Because just the hitting like could be abused, I guess. See, I'm tilling the ground real fast. And I have gotten confirmation that it is indeed just a spade. Oh, maybe that's what it's called, a spade. That is doing the tilling. So we have our plots of land, and you can till them. They are now set to being tilled, and we've checked that because it is turning more and more red the more you till it, not green. So it's only turning green because it has changed. I agree for the drag, yeah. Cool. So let us, considering it is almost 9 o'clock, let us give this a little save. Also just checking our changes. Cell can now be tilled. One of these days, I am going to have to come back to this project and just clean it, because the names I've given stuff since I've started working on this is pretty bad. The ways I've been doing things have also often been pretty messy. But I don't have the time or interest in doing that, so it won't be tonight. We are going to go over to the to-do list. Cooking, brewing, potion, farming. Okay, so we actually have started farming. Make hoe drag for tilling. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that, actually. I have a few ideas. Oops, I want a plus, not an equals. But, I have no clear idea of how I'm going to do this. I could do a little bit like for the... like I did for the, Atame, for the sword thing. Whereas it's detecting the movement, and then I can check if the movement is being dragged, essentially, across the surface of the thing. And then I could use some like particle effects and stuff. Maybe I should add these as notes. Make hoe drag for tilling, and we're gonna be like particle effect for visuals. We are going to put as well drag length, audio would be nice as well, audio for drag. Yeah, cool. So yeah, maybe we'll work on that next time. And depending on how much time that takes us for the dragging script, I could go into the visuals for the farm cells. So let's add that as well. Farm cell visuals. More farm stuff is going to be, I guess, seeds. Let's just leave it that open-aired right now. So seeds, watering can, water effect. Oh god, there's more and more stuff, etc. Okay, we are going to leave it here for tonight. To those of you who have popped in to say hello, I thank you. And for those of you listening to this at a later date, I also thank you. For those of you who've dropped in and have since left, I thank you. It is just always nice to have people along for this insane adventure that I've put myself on in the past year of making a quasi game. And I have to say that the more people that pop in and ask me when this is going to be released and more of my plans, the more I'm thinking maybe I should turn it into like a proper thing that people can download and have fun with. But I think for the time being, for the moment, I am going to focus just on creating different game mechanics and different tools and stuff like I've been doing so far, and not worrying too much about like, you know, how these all link together and make a cohesive gameplay loop and other game related stuff. So yeah, for tonight, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye!